Okay, Sagittarius, I'm going to do your mid-month reading for February 2022. I want to mention that if you would like a personal reading, all the information is in the description box below the video. And I do many different types of readings. I do astrological birth charts. I do energy work. There's a lot of different things, a lot of different options. My website is being revamped as we speak, so I will have much more services and things like that available. But for now, anything that you need to book, that will be in the description box, and my contact information is in there too if interested. And I also want to thank you for your likes, shares, and subscribes, your views, your comments. Everything is very helpful. Thank you so much. And let's get this reading underway. Okay, Sagittarius, what do I need to know for the Sagittarius Collective for mid-month February 22? What does Sagittarius need to know for February mid-month 2022? What are the messages for Sagittarius? What are the messages for Sagittarius at this time? What are the messages for Sagittarius at this time? What does Sagittarius need to know for February mid-month 2022? What does Sagittarius need to know? What does Sagittarius need to know? Two cards came out. Heartache and loss and crown chakra. Okay, Sagittarius. First and foremost, I just want to, say that I am sorry that you're going through any of this at this time. Depending on which ones, which of this resonates with you, because there's so many different Sagittarius out there. I'm doing the collective, so just know that it may not resonate. Everything may not resonate. But what I'm feeling off top is that, all right, so with the heartache and loss, it's basically feeling like that you've lost something, that you're holding on to, pain from the past. It could be something recent. But I feel like what it's doing is that, this is your crown chakra, so this is like your first chakra, it's the seventh chakra actually. But basically what that means is, for the ones that don't know, that means spinning vorticles or spinning disc of energy in Sanskrit. So they're connected to your endocrine glands. An example of an endocrine gland would be like your thyroid, adrenal glands, pituitary gland, pineal, or pineal. So basically, you probably heard people talk about third eye, stuff like that. But basically what it's doing is that because of this heartache and loss, it's causing you to be kind of just, a lot of energy stagnating within your crown chakra. And you may not be able to see or think straight, or, whatever it is that's going on. But just understand that whatever you lost, that with every ending there's a beginning. And there's always, light at the end of the tunnel. And that might sound cliche, but there really is. It's just, life is a matter of perspective and the way you look at it. You can basically either live in hell or heaven, depending on your actions and your belief systems and everything that you're doing, Sagittarius, I know that you're a very competitive sign sometimes, and try to understand this, and you may not agree, if you don't, like I said, just take whatever resonates. But try to understand that life is not about competition. Sometimes in life, we think that's what it is, and we feel like we have to win, or that, this is what, we have to, be better than the next person and things like that. And what that will cause, sometimes that can cause heartache and loss, because people are not always playing the game that you're playing, or they're not playing to win. Some people just want to live their life, and if they win, it doesn't mean they're competitive, they're just whatever. But realize when you try to win over top of someone, then there's always going to be a loser. And so that keeps you in the energy of duality. And when you're in duality, you're always, dealing with opposing forces. And so you cannot ever, be happy that way. That's the secret to it. Be open-minded. Sagittarius, you govern the 9th house in astrology, which is like foreign travel, higher education. And so, you can have very high ideals. Your ruling planet is Jupiter, so you can have very high ideals. You can think certain things is supposed to be a certain way, but it doesn't mean it's always that way. Just because you have high ideals doesn't mean that everybody else has the same ones. And so you have to see life in that way, or at least try to see it that way. And so with the crown chakra, it's basically saying, you need to work on that. Because when this is blocked, you're not receiving any divine energy. You're not receiving guidance from spirit. And, I know some Sagittarius where they just, don't care anything about religion, spirituality, everything. They look at it, as, I don't know how they look at it really. It's just that they don't want no part of it. But realize when you separate yourself from a higher calling, a higher being, some of you might be atheists. You're separating yourself from creation, and it can be a very lonely, place when you do that. Lonely existence, because, if you really think that we just evolved from a certain, just evolved out of thin air and there was nothing in it. I mean, all you have to do is look at the blueprint. Whenever you manifest or create an idea, it's got to come from somewhere. It comes from creative energy. No matter how you label it, no matter how you look at it, there is something that is behind all of that. And if you live your life in separation from that, then your life, you're just going to end up destroying yourself, So when the crown chakra is blocked, the crown chakra is basically, that's where the soft spot is on the top of the head, like the babies have that have to heal. And that's where the soul and the spirit basically comes through when you're born. And so with that being blocked, all the divine guidance for the ones that you believe in, that all the ideas, the information may not be coming to you in the right way. It may be blocked, and you might be in your ego, and you might actually think that certain things that are not true. You might come to conclusions that are just based on ignorance. And the only way to really do that is connect with spirit and realize that you're not separate. You can be separate in a way as far as frequency and energetic blocks. Because the purer that you are, the holier that you are, and I'm not saying that as a cliche. I mean, like, holy meaning pure. The more that, the less your energy is stagnating in your body, the more it's free flowing, the healthier your vehicle, your vessel, your body is, your temple, the more that you're going to receive that divine guidance. And trust me, I'm speaking from, experience here. I'm a Gemini sun, so I'm Sagittarius' opposite. So a lot of times Sagittarius do the complete opposite of what I do, But the thing about that is that you have the same capabilities that I do, because in a sense, Gemini is your shadow self. As Sagittarius is my shadow self. So I have both. I have both energies, and there's no such thing as opposites in reality. It's basically just two sides of a coin. But duality is illusion. So whenever you think something's different or opposite, it still comes from the same energy. So let's see what else I get for you. But if you want to, I do recommend that you clear that chakra, and you can do that by, going to a practitioner and having a full session. It can be somewhat expensive depending on who you go to. But if you want to do something free, and you can get on YouTube, listen with headphones, type in crown chakra and clear that, or do a meditation. If you're open enough to do that and not stubborn, it will help you. It will open up that crown chakra, and you'll start receiving insight. So it pays to work on your energy, because a lot of people don't realize this, that all these physical senses we have, sight, hearing, smell, touch, we have every bit of that mirrors that in the spiritual realm. So you have third eye sight, you have inner knowing, you have inner sight, you have inner hearing, you have all that. So if you're just walking around, basically just in the physical self and nothing else, then, and you're blocking yourself off for whatever reason from those other abilities, then you are just basically living a half life. You're only half of yourself. So you need to balance that out. Okay, what are the other messages for Sagittarius for February mid-month 2022? So sacrifice. So that's come out for a lot of people. So you might find yourself at this time, Sagittarius, sacrificing your ideas, your beliefs. And I will say that can be a good thing sometimes, but sometimes you got to realize that sacrifice, you don't want to be the martyr to the point that you're sacrificing what you believe in, and your truth and everything like that. And when you do that, again, like if you sacrifice your beliefs and all that stuff and how you believe, this can cause heartache and loss, because you're not living in an authentic reality, and it can cause these blocks. Everything that you think and do can have it's basically a cause and effect. It can have, it can cause karma within yourself, saying negative things to people, about people, things like that, that can really cause issues. So just know that, if you're dealing with this at this time, depending on which group of Sagittarius that I am connecting with, just know that it pays to work on this, work on these chakras. And like I said, YouTube, type it in, listen with headphones, relax, do some deep breathing. If you don't like the whole idea of meditation, or that term of meditation, if you find that cliche, or if you just laugh at it, don't be ignorant. Realize that if you have realize this: if you have millions of years of history and people have been doing this and they say it works and they do it, yeah, it's true. Certain people follow trends. We've seen that in the past. In the past years, where people, are eating Tide Pods and things like that. But when you've got something that, when dealing with chakras, and there's whole systems and there's practitioners, not everyone is crazy. There has to be something to that, and I'm affirming and I'm telling you there is something to it. When your energy is clear and it's flowing, it's like being on a whole nother level. It's like a high that you cannot even understand until you do it. So what else do I need to know for Sagittarius? What else do I need to know for Sagittarius? Or what else does Sagittarius need to know for mid-month February? What are the messages for Sagittarius mid-month February? Balance. See, now there's not a coincidence that didn't come out, because that's basically telling you that. It's basically saying you need to balance your energy. So again, the crown. So if your crown is blocked and you got heartache and loss going on, that can cause an imbalance in your system. And that's what it's all about, is balance between the higher self and the lower self. Now, if you want to get biblical, you could say that the lower self is basically the devil and the higher self is basically the God. And so the whole idea is to balance the yin and yang, the light and dark between you. There's a lot of new age people out there, though, that think the love and light is the only way, but they don't realize that what they're doing is that they're basically rejecting a part of themselves. And that's what it's about. It's about the totality of balance. So make sure that you find balance in however you're doing it. And if you're using, substances and things like that to try to, to escape certain situations, I can tell you right now that that's all it is an escape. Because when you come to, or when you're sober again, it's going to be right there in your face until you deal with it. This is also going to be seen as a temperance card in traditional tarot, and so basically that means everything in moderation. I know that's a famous line for certain Sagittariuses, but you have to apply that in all aspects of your life, not just some, otherwise you're going to be out of balance. And I tell you this, don't say it unless you're doing it yourself, because So what else do I need to know for Sagittarius mid-month February? Movement, choices, and decisions. So, alright, so with that card, I feel like once you achieve this balance, you do this work, you make this sacrifice, you might, with the sacrifice, you may need to sacrifice some of your beliefs and actually open your mind to clear this chakra. You know what I mean? Because you might believe a certain thing, and I'm sitting there telling you what you need to do, or Spirit is, working through me telling you what you need to do, and you might reject that and be like, no, I don't believe in that, blah blah blah, hocus pocus, whatever. But it's, that's what I'm getting. You need to sacrifice your belief system, or you need to make certain sacrifices in your life to realize that the things that you're holding on to is really detrimental to your health. And again, if you're sacrificing certain things for other people and it's causing this heartache and loss, it's causing, say you're stubborn and your beliefs are causing certain issues and people are walking away from you because you're not willing to grow, well, then there you go. That's a situation. You need to make certain sacrifices and change, and not pretending to change, to actually go through the motions. And then achieve this balance, and then through that, you will be able to move and make better choices and decisions. And so when you do all that spiritual work, and actually the energy work, whether you call it spiritual or not, it will have better changes in your material world. Okay, Sagittarius, I hope that resonated for you. I know I did with some of you. Again, I'm sorry for your heartache and loss and whatever's going through. I do have compassion and empathy for you, and I really appreciate your likes, your shares.